Hey guys, what is up? Welcome into the video. So in this video, I'm going to be going over a few scenarios and what I think may be happening in the stock market next. Are we going to see a crash? Are we going to see a huge run up? I'm going to be going through all of my personal thoughts and just some research that I've done and some things that I think have a good chance of happening. So I'm not going to make this video too long, so let's get into it right now. Today, our president, Donald Trump, was released from the hospital. The market reacted very positively to this, had a huge pop, finished the day up almost 2% in all of the big indexes. Now in the short term, because of this news, the market is looking very, very bullish. But I want to throw some caution into the mix. So Donald Trump has been treated with these drugs and steroids that kind of lead you to believe that, okay, maybe he's not doing okay, maybe he shouldn't have been released from the hospital. So let's take a look at some research that I've done on this. So in this article by an expert in the drug and health space, Trump is currently taking this steroid called dexamethasone. This may offer insights to his status, this expert said. So after taking this medicine, some patients may develop psychiatric symptoms after being treated with steroids, including euphoria, mood instability, rage, or psychosis. Now this is rare, but it occurs often enough to where they recognize this as a side effect. Now this morning, Trump was sending out a bunch of tweets kind of going crazy on here. Now could this be one of the side effects of him going psychotic? Now probably not, but it's just very interesting to bring up that scenario and possibility. So in the Sunday morning briefing of Trump's health, Conley evaded questions about CT scans of the president's lungs, saying only that there are some expected findings, but nothing of major clinical concern. So just the fact that they're evading questions about the president, this is not good at all. They would not be evading questions if they had good news to tell. So whatever was on those CT scans seems undoubtedly what targeted physician's decision to add dexamethasone in hopes that it would moderate his immune system response to collateral damage. So they're thinking that the reason that they gave Trump this steroid is to keep him off the ventilator. It would definitely not be a good look for Trump to be on a ventilator in front of millions of people who are keeping up with him and his health. So they added that it is unusual for someone to go on oxygen for a few hours with this disease and then come right off. The patients that I've seen, once they fall asleep, they stay low for a while. They don't just bounce down and come right back up, they said. Those irregularities treatment could suggest the president is more sick than the White House is leading on, the expert says, but it also could be a symptom of what is known as VIP treatment, which is pretty much Trump just getting the best treatment because he's the president and he gets the best of the best. Now this drug, dexamethasone, this is supposed to reduce death rates by 1/3. Now this is a good rate and obviously successful, but there are a lot of side effects. And I've been doing a ton of research on this steroid and these people who take it. First of all, this lasts 10 days. You take the steroid for 10 days and then you're off of it. So when Trump is off of this steroid, which should be starting October 10th, there's a chance that we could see his health start to deteriorate once again. It's possible that this steroid is kind of fueling him, making him feel good for the time being, but he's not actually cured and he's not actually feeling all the way better. This steroid is just giving him that fake feeling of feeling great, and that's the reason he's coming out saying he feels amazing and everything like that. Now, of course, this is just speculation, and there's just a very small chance of this happening, but I do have to bring up this scenario because it has happened to other patients who had this virus and took the same steroid. Now, there's also studies on this drug showing that it has no benefit at all to people who have very small, very mild cases of this virus. Now, obviously, Trump does not have a mild case. It's probably very, very serious, and for that reason, he's getting this steroid and getting these drugs. There's also videos like this one out. Now, as you can see, Trump looks like he's having trouble breathing, and this is scary for us, being in the stock market, the president of the country. So I really do hope everything that they're saying in the White House is correct, and he actually is recovering very quickly. Maybe he did get the VIP treatment and got the best of the best, and he's actually recovered. It could go either way, but I just think that there's a chance once he's off his steroid, his health kind of crashes once again. I also think he went to the hospital. He wouldn't have gone to the hospital. He has all the care that he needs in the White House. He would not have gone to the hospital if it was not serious. It must have been super, super serious for him to go to the hospital and just have all that media attention, just knowing that he's going to the hospital. That's a lot for a president to do. He would not want that unless he had to. So just all the side effects of this drug, the 10-day timeline of taking this drug, things could get worse from here on out. It's not like he's all the way better and we don't have to look back anymore. No, it's still looming over us. The president is still sick. Now we're just waiting to see if he actually is recovering or if there's more that we need to worry about with the president's health. Now the biggest thing that's going to move the stock market is the stimulus package. Now I believe if we get the stimulus package confirmed, it goes through the Senate, then our stock market could break the remaining resistance levels and potentially go all the way up to all-time highs. This stimulus would be injecting around $2 trillion into the economy, depending which deal goes through. But if this was to happen, the stock market would go absolutely crazy because that is what the stock market is depending on and the news that it's waiting for. Now, on the other hand, if the stimulus did not pass, I would expect a big stock market dump and potentially another correction of about 5 to 10%, like we saw a month ago. The market is fully dependent on the stimulus news right now, so keep up with it and trade based on the stimulus. Now, if we get the stimulus passed, I'm going to be going all the way long. If the stimulus gets denied, I will be shorting the market pretty heavily, most likely, because I do believe that we're headed for either a bear market if the stimulus does not pass, and a bull market if the stimulus does pass. And as you can see, I've mapped out the S&P 500 and the key resistance and support levels. So I would expect a lot of these resistance levels to break if we do get the stimulus. It would be looking at all-time highs. And if we don't get the stimulus, I'll be looking at a lot of these support levels underneath it to potentially break. And we could be headed much, much lower than we are right now. With the election coming up, with the virus spreading even more, we get news every day about how it's just spreading a lot, potentially a second wave, just a lot of fear in the overall market. So some ways you can trade off of this is trading the VIX, which is the volatility index, also known as the fear indicator. My personal favorite ticker to trade with this is UVXY. You can have some option calls on UVXY. You can just hold some UVXY shares, and you'll benefit off the fear and the volatility later into this month. Now, in the short term, the market is looking bullish, but if we get any bad news, I think we're headed downwards very, very quickly. The market is very inflated, but just all the news that's going on right now, I believe that the market is valued way too highly, and it should not be up this much. Today, we're up almost 2% in all the indexes. Now, I think that's crazy with all the global health concerns, the US president health concerns, and the volatility with the election coming up. Just nobody knows what's going to happen. So there's going to be a lot of overall fear. There's going to be a lot of overall panicking if we get any bad news, either the stimulus, the president's health, and I believe that this market could be headed much, much lower from where we are right now. So just be very, very careful. Managing risk is going to be the number one thing to focus on as of right now. Now, once again, my personal plan for trading this market is either waiting for good news or bad news. Now, if we get bad news about the stimulus, bad news about Trump's health, then I will be shorting the market very, very heavily and having probably most of my portfolio against the market. Now, if we get confirmation of stimulus, which I believe has a pretty good chance of happening at this point, they're trying to work things out. Trump tweeted about this, so they want to get it done. Now, if we do get the stimulus package, I'll be going all the way long in the market and very, very bullish. As we saw what happened when we got the last stimulus, we went on that absolutely massive run from the end of March all the way up to August, just a full bull market run. Now, I wouldn't expect any type of gains like we saw from March to August, but I could expect a 10% pop in the overall market, which would result in new all-time highs, and I would not be surprised at all if that was to happen. Now, since we are trading off of this news, I highly recommend you have notifications on your phone so you can make the quickest decisions. Some ways you can do this is, for example, right now I have Trump's tweets to notify me on my phone. So every time Trump tweets, I get a notification on my phone, it buzzes. So if there's any breaking news, if he says I'm heading back to the hospital, if he says I'm all the way better, if just any news comes out like that. I also recommend that you follow some reporters and get notifications from them. People who follow Trump, people who follow the stimulus package, find those reporters, turn on their post notifications for your phone so you can act super, super quickly and be there within seconds making a trade on the news that's out. So guys, manage your risk, keep cash on hand, and be ready for any scenario, and have a full plan and thesis for what you're going to do when news like this comes out. If it's bad news, know exactly what you're going to be buying. If it's good news, know exactly what you're going to be going long in. So that's my take on this market. It's 100% news dependent in my opinion. A lot is depending on the stimulus and the president's health. Both could go either way, so just keep watch and keep your alerts on. If you want to get 2 free stocks from Webull, valued up to $1,600, the link is down below. If you want to get $5 free on Ackman, $10 free on Coinbase, those links are down below as well. Those are affiliate links, so it does help out the channel. If you want to join the private stock group, that link is down below as well. And let me know your thoughts on the comments below. If you have another angle to Trump's health, if you have any predictions about if we're going to get stimulus or not, please like the video, please subscribe. I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. And yeah, guys, just trade smart. Let's get rich.